like when you look at their life, it's like, well, they don't really have Jesus in their life, like at all. They say they do, but their actions do not prove it at all. The
Yeah,
reactions,
man. Yeah.
and so
Yeah.
then you're like, well, are you just fooling yourself?
It's
You know?
so okay. It's so difficult to bring this up though, because this is what cultural Christianity looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what this
Yeah.
is. This
Yeah.
is I'm Christian because I check a few boxes, right?
Mm.
Off of the list. And because my parents took me to church and now I go to church. You mentioned when you were giving your testimony about how you grew up and how you were worship
Yes.
leader and in the church and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't know that your lack of relationship with God was not like normal.
Right.
You just thought
Yeah.
because that's how everybody around
That's
you
what
was,
everybody else did it.
that's
Yeah.
what you
Mm-hmm.
thought being a Christian looked like.
Great
Okay.
point.
There are a lot and a lot of people in church that are in that boat right there that
Right.
you were in,
Right. Right.
and they have no concept of like praying with their wife
Right.
before they go to
Yeah.
bed. They have no
Right.
concept of reading the Bible with their children. They have no concept of praying before making decisions and not being
Right.
anxious because you understand that God's sovereign. You know
Right.
what I mean? Those
Mm-hmm.
things aren't reality for them. And for somebody to claim that you believe in these things
Mm-hmm.
and then not act on them and
Yeah.
them not impact your life in a very real, practical way, you're lying. You're lying. Okay. Because
Totally.
there's
Yeah.
nothing you believe in that doesn't impact your life and
And
that
you're
you
only
don't
lying to
act on.
yourself. You're fooling yourself. You're
You're
lying
not
to
impressing
yourself.
anybody.
Like,
You're not impressing
right.
anybody.
And you're
You're
hurting yourself. You're
hurting
not
yourself.
allowing yourself to be with God, like, and to
Correct.
actually
Correct.
live and walk with God,
Correct.
right?
God's not impressed. God's going
Right.
to let you, like, unfortunately, God might let you sit there for a while
Mm.
and let that run its course.
Right.
Because good luck with that. Good luck with that. And you know when God's going to step in? When it
Right.
blows up. Okay. When
Because
it
it will.
blows up,
It will. It
and
will.
it will. And it will. Because until
Because he
you hit
loves
rock,
us.
until you hit rock bottom, and until he lets everything that you're clinging onto instead of him, until he lets that burn away and blow up in your life, good luck.
Man.
It's on you. It's on you. You've put it all on your shoulders. You have no
Yeah.
place for God. All you do is cry out to him when what you've made blows up. And
Mm-hmm.
let's see how that works for you. He'll
Right.
still be around. He's just going to let you fall a little further. He's going to let you
Sure.
get down in the gutter a little bit. That's how he works.
Right.
If he chooses to show you grace and wake your ass up before you get there, oh my God, you're so lucky. But more
Yeah,
often,
you are.
oh my God, man,
Yeah.
thank
That's
God,
what that's what I
thank
tell people
God
who
for that.
that's what, when they say, "Oh, I want the experiences you had." I'm like,
No, you don't. No,
I
you
went
don't.
through hell for 6.5 years. I don't I don't know. Like if you ask me again, like I'd be like, all right, day one, let me just like turn to Jesus and just and I wish I had I mean I had friends, I had you, I had friends that were, praying for me, talking to me, family, of course. Um a few friends, not many, but at that time, yeah, I mean I didn't believe, Ben. That was it. That was just
But you said you did.
oh, I said I did. I thought I did. I fooled
But you were
myself.
a worship leader.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how that, someone actually said that to me because when I was having, like, I was in a really bad place and I was talking to him, like, yeah, I don't believe God loves me anymore. He's like, but how about all those times you were singing in church and all those songs that you sang in all church? And it was really convicting,
heck
when he
yeah,
said it. But I
heck
was just
yeah,
like, but I didn't know how to answer. I was just kind of like, yeah, well, I guess, yeah, I guess I didn't believe it, and I was
yeah,
just,
yeah,
it was just human talent at that point.
yeah.
Nothing's,
They were a means
only
to elicit an emotional response, and that's what you equated with the
that's what it
presence of
was.
God. And that's
That's
what a lot,
exactly.
and that's what a lot of people
Yeah.
think Christianity is. That same
Right.
response you're having is the response that people on some drugs have, is the response that people
Mm.
at concerts have. You know,
Yeah.
they're not feeling the
Right.
presence of God. They're not worshiping God.
Right.
They're having the same physical reactions as you at those shows.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
why EDM is so big. That's why
Right.
these techno concerts are so big. Is
And that's
because
a chemical thing. That's a total chemical thing, right?
it is
Like,
human. It's human.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's biological, chemical. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's the
That's
same
what it is.
thing. It's the same freaking thing.
So when I talk about the presence of God now, though, there is an emotional aspect to it. There is this, I keep saying words like feeling and connected. You know, people say oneness. I don't really like to throw around oneness just because I don't understand it very well. So I don't really say those things. I've heard people talk about it, but for me, there is an emotional component to being in the presence of God. I mean, there has to be, dude.
There has to, of course,
Be, right?
Yeah, I'm not negating human emotion.
Right.
What I'm saying is that there are other paths outside of God and outside of the Bible and outside of Jesus that elicits the exact same emotional response that you're equating to a relationship or with the presence of God. There's other means to that same end. So
I think the
that can't be all it is.
Right. So the emotion could be the same or similar, but the substance of that emotion, or like
exactly.
The changing part of like, what does that emotion like actually do? See, that's what I said when I was really heavy hearted in bed, and I was really, I couldn't sleep. And then I got up and I started praying and worshiping. I literally put song on at like 1:30 in the morning, and I'm singing out loud.